Hello, you beautiful beings. Welcome to my channel. This is where we open up space and let some profound, beautiful wisdom unfold itself where needed. Um, yeah, hello, happy Sunday. Happy Easter if you celebrate, or happy 420. Um, I'm celebrating a little bit of both today. I love chocolate and I also love the occasional cannabis. Yeah, wow. It's been a really lovely day. Normally I do these in the morning, but we're doing a little late afternoon. So if you're here with me or listening, welcome or welcome back. I appreciate you for being here. And the energies that we're kind of navigating today really feel like grace is necessary. And being that this was, the day they say that Jesus resurrected, I feel like there's a lot of energy of resurrection, not in ways that we can't conceptualize, but in ways of perhaps maybe an old self finally dying. And I don't mean physically, I mean the way we used to show up, the way we used to present ourselves, the way we used to navigate, or the mindset we used to navigate from. Perhaps we are rebirthing a brand new being, a brand new self. And maybe it's not such a new self. Maybe it's the truest self. Maybe it's the purest self. The the essence of the soul beneath all of the masks and everything we put on seeking validation or to be liked or loved or accepted in this mad world. And the reason this feels so significant to talk about today is because I, once a month, I move through a hormone cycle, right? Just as us women do. And I'll have crappy thoughts that are more easy to entertain than not. And so I have to very, very, very intentionally and I want to say diligently make great effort to not get grumpy or to not entertain or feed into the grumpiness, right? Being grumpy is, we all have our moments, and it can be healthy at times to feel this emotion, yes, but when we're feeding into it is when it becomes unhealthy. And so one of the things that crossed my mind before coming into the space with you all today was, mm, I'm not feeling so confident, or I'm not feeling this, or maybe today's not a good day to make a video, but I committed to myself that I was going to do this every day, or at least post a video every day. And if I don't have one posted today yet, I need to make it. And so that commitment to myself is showing up no matter how I feel, what I look like, what I'm navigating, just because at the end of the day, this really helps me process a lot of what's going on internally. And I'm finding that it really helps people. There are a few of you out there that really appreciate this, and I can appreciate that if this just helps one individual that is navigating some similar territory but could use a little bit of space held or a little wisdom rant to make it easier, I'm so grateful. I'm so, so grateful to hold this space. And so, maybe that's an energy. Maybe you're not feeling 100%, but you can see that life is moving in a new direction, and it's not really so clear, and it feels a little bit foggy, and it's like the wheels are starting to turn, but before you catch like confident momentum, it takes some effort to turn the wheels a little bit. And so I feel like there's an element of having to be our own cheerleader. Like, no, you can do this. I know we've been trying for a minute, and it's still taking like exhausted effort. But I feel like it's the moment where it's about to hit the momentum point, and then the wheels just turn. And it's like right when you get the ball off the hill, and then then you don't have to push it anymore. It just goes. And so maybe we're in this space. If you're part of this beautiful collective, oh, I'm so sorry. I just lost all my sunlight in here. Let's see if we can artificially replace it. There we go. So maybe you've been working on making some change in your world. You've been working on making life different or better, or you've been making these efforts. And you've been working really hard, and the sun is returning. Excuse me. And so let me know if this resonates for you. Let me know if I'm always curious to know who this reaches and how it reaches them, and to also kind of dip into the energy of the collective that this is attracting, right? I want to bring into our awareness that perhaps we've been in this giving, giving, giving mode, and maybe that's just it. Maybe we've been taught to churn the wheels, right? Is that what they say? So you have this big wooden stick. I just see like this, what the hell they used to do it in Egypt, and they carried big heavy things. Have you ever seen those pictures? And they have these two wheels on either side, and then like a stick in the wheel, and it's turning both the wheels. And maybe that's how we've been taught. And maybe we actually don't have to try so hard. Maybe there is a way to invite grace in, which is also really funny because I feel like that brings us full circle to what I was sharing in the beginning, which was to allow I showed up here, but prior to being able to show up into the space with you guys, I had to give myself grace. I had to be like, yes, we're tired. Yes, we're a little burnt out because we smoked pot this morning and then had a nap. And we've just been having this lovely Sunday, my dog and I. And I don't feel like I have a full 100% to give you guys today, or something of worthiness, like a worthy enough topic to show up here into the space. And so I doubted it, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to give myself grace. And so it's like maybe in the area where I would have naturally forced myself, been like, just go upstairs, put on the mask, act it out. What is that? What am I trying to do? Act it out and just like get it over with. Whereas the energy that I'm showing up in now is like super authentic, and instead of acting it out and just like forcing myself through an energy I don't necessarily resonate to be in right now, I'm showing up in my kind of like tired, cuddly, just because I chose grace. I chose to give myself a break and just say, hey, it's enough. You showing up as you are is enough. Tired, full of chocolate. Oh my God. I made brownies this morning. Oh my goodness. I put little mini eggs in them, and I ate way too many. I've eaten more brownies than real food today. I should probably get a good lunch. But I'm I'm just really appreciating this moment because I so much have practiced the other side of that spectrum, which is like blame, shame, guilt, force, like mad at myself, like, oh, I knew you shouldn't have done that. Why'd you do that? You know, now your tummy's upset and but instead I'm just like, what a perfect Easter 420 or Sunday. Easter 420 Sunday. You know, it feels like I'm regardless of like the fact that I ate way too much chocolate today. I don't think I would have wanted it any other way. I don't think I would have wanted to experience this day missing out on that part of it. It's like one of those things that feels like, you know, I I have this moment a lot where I reflect back on my life at a very old age. And one of the things she always says is I ate all the chocolate I wanted to. I never told myself no to the things I love. And if that means I get a little tummy ache once a year on Easter, then I think I'm doing it right. Anyways, totally sidetracked. I also want to share a side story because Spirit's playing with me today. I love it. And it also shows like the manifestation of this energy that I'm embodying and how life starts to actually play with you when you embody this energy of grace. It's like not taking it so seriously. And so this morning I love Easter egg hunts. It's something it reminds me of my childhood and like really happy moments of my childhood. Other holidays were like stressful and it put so much pressure on parents, like Christmas and but Easter was always one that both my parents found joy in. I could sense like they were happy at that time of year as well as I enjoyed it. And it was just a good time. It was like easy and it was met with ease and grace, just like I'm talking about now. Or at least that's like kind of how my inner child remembers it. And so, mom would do an Easter egg hunt or dad would do an Easter egg hunt and I loved it. And so it's one of the things every Easter I wake up and I look up like community Easter egg hunts and then, I get there and there's like thousands of 4-year-olds hunting for Easter eggs. Then I recognize I don't necessarily fit in as much as I want to participate. And so if anybody wants to lend me their 4-year-old for an Easter egg hunt, let me know. Open every Easter. North North Vancouver Island. Just totally kidding. Totally kidding. Don't send me your children for Easter. um But then this morning, I thought I'm going to make brownies today. That feels like an appropriate Easter Sunday 420 thing to do. And so I drove around, I went and picked up some flour, and then I was like, oh, I need mini eggs. I need mini eggs today. And the first store I went to, out of mini eggs. The second store I went to, out of mini eggs, and was like, damn, okay, I have like 2 more options because I live in a very small town. And I said to the universe, I said, wow, you're really making me hunt for these eggs. And I chuckled to myself and thought, oh my goodness, I'm on my Easter egg hunt. And that made my day. In so many ways. And so that's just me having what I think is a hilarious moment with life and spirit and just uh, you know, it felt it felt good. I got my eggs at the end, but I actually genuinely had to hunt for them. And there was like this element of like, oh, what if I don't get the eggs? Or what if I don't find them? I know I'll find the eggs. There's going to be eggs here. Somebody's got to have eggs. And I mean them like the little mini eggs, the colorful ones with chocolate in the middle, heart outside. They're so yummy. And the only time of year I eat them is Easter. So it's like today's my day to find my eggs. Anyways, and there's just been so much grace throughout this day. And I this morning I woke up grumpy and was like hormonal. I was like, alternatively, I probably would have woken up, scrolled, put on movies, ignored my dog's needs and just been grumpy and grouchy and crampy and but instead I meditated for 45 minutes, and then in my meditation I confronted all of that, and then I got up and sat in the sun, read my book. It was like it totally flipped a switch on my day, holding space for that grumpiness instead of letting it kind of run like a pattern throughout the day in a way that would have been much less enjoyable. And all I did was simply meet it with grace instead of rah, and screw this day. I just, and let's even like reflect on that. Because if you need to meet a part of your grumpiness with grace, why not now? Because then you feel better. Then you feel better. And so it went like this. Hmm. You can put your hands on your heart, sink in, or just listen. What am I holding on to? Hmm. Sensing anger, frustration. Some of the things that come up for me personally is scared to let go, scared to unravel and fall, scared to lose it all, scared to relax and lose myself. Like there's an element of me trying to hold it all together so I didn't die, so the pattern didn't die. And in there I let myself relax into the feeling of running very uncomfortably, quite excruciating at times when your nervous system wants to just run. And I just kept showing up with the feelings with grace, and they were uncomfortable and yucky, and grace means just like an easy acceptance. It's like giving up, I shouldn't feel this way. It's giving up the should, or expectation. It's like, oh, here you are. Here you are. Grumpy, cranky, tired, burnt out, feeling lonely. Here you are. Hi, loneliness. Welcome. You kind of suck, but I love you anyways. And when I say I love you anyways, I'm not saying I love being lonely. I mean, regardless of what emotion exists in my body, I'm going to love me anyways. That is what meeting yourself with grace looks like. Quite literally. It's like letting the silence freak out, have a temper tantrum, wait for the calm down, and then embrace with a hug. Does that make sense? We're in the pocket. We're channeling. Ow! My legs. Oh, yeah, and so I feel the need to stretch now. There's energy moving. I feel like there's been some collective transmuting in this space. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. Excuse me. 3:13 on the clock. While I say that, maybe that's important. 13 is a number of death. And maybe there's an old life that you're leaving behind. Maybe there's an old way of showing up in the world. An old way of navigating your relationship with yourself. And perhaps it's really time to integrate with the love and compassion that you need. Sometimes we don't even know we need it. Sometimes we need somebody to tell us. And so if you needed this message today, you're welcome. And or maybe you know somebody that needs this message today, or maybe there was just one nugget that hit the nail on the head. So if I'm gonna close this out today with anything, it's going to be hydrate yourself, eat lots of chocolate, and let yourself be emotional, but not in a unhealthy way. And that means inviting in grace. Even if you're dealing with something as hard as a broken heart or death, you can grieve and mm, hold space, very gentle space for grieving. And I really truly think, when they say, I know I am closing, but when they say, like, don't feel lower emotions or lower frequencies, because that's what lowers your frequency, is feeling lower vibrations. Lower vibrations are not pain, grief, sadness, sorrow, depression. These are not, on a technical scale, if you look at the emotional spectrum, sure. A lot of the times it's a wheel. It's not like a high and low thing. But that's not what lowers your frequency. What lowers your frequency is feeling pain, feeling grief, feeling sorrow, feeling sadness, and then being hard on yourself for it. That is what lowers our frequency, because we go, oh, I shouldn't feel this way. Should. I didn't expect this to happen. Why is this happening to me? The resistance to it is what's lowering your frequency. And so let yourself be where you are, and 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 love yourself how you need it. That doesn't mean go meditate and do yoga when you're in a stress response. Sometimes, absolutely, if that calls to you and it feels like it's going to help you, then freaking do it. But sometimes you need a snuggle on the couch, midday nap, and a chocolate bar. And just a gentle holding space for where you are and whatever you're navigating, because it's okay. It's okay. I hope I was able to meet you with some grace today, and give you some nuggets in ways that you can meet yourself with grace today. I love you all so much, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Till next time, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.